A harbor pilot makes $434,000 a year, but faces a 1 in 20 chance of dying on the job. Around 90% of U.S. goods arrive by ship, but cargo ships are huge. They can approach the pier without help. That's where harbor pilots come in. This job is both important and very lucrative, yet it's also one of the most dangerous. The Port of Los Angeles is America's #1 container port. Harbor pilots who work there make $434,000 a year. The average marine pilot makes $154,000 to $285,000. To come into port, a cargo ship must pay local pilots. They're the only ones capable of bringing her to dock. The dangers of this job are multiple. Pilots can easily get run over by a massive cargo ship. They might get pitched overboard in rough waters. They could get slammed between two boats. Of course, there are plenty of safety precautions, but it's impossible to make harbor piloting 100% safe. The job is also incredibly high stakes. It requires hyper-specialized skills. The pilot is responsible for vessels that can weigh over 200,000 tons. Some of them are worth over $100 million. A pilot brings a ship in from miles out at sea. The vessel must arrive within inches of her unloading spot. The harbor pilot first approaches the ship in a speedboat. The speedboat is just 55 feet long. From the boat, the pilot climbs a rope ladder onto the freighter. Both vessels are meanwhile pitching in opposite directions. It's one of the most dangerous parts of the process. Falling into the sea at this point is usually fatal. Harbor pilot Craig Finn says,
"The percentage of survival is minimal if you go in the water in heavy seas, even with a life vest."
Once aboard the freighter, the pilot is given a sheet. This document details every little element of the ship. It also describes the obstacles she faces on her course into port. The pilot cannot touch the ship's controls. He only directs her every movement. This is done via verbal commands to the crew. To plot the correct course, he used a tablet. He relies on GPS and navigational beacons. He uses data from the onboard automated system. Finally, he draws on his own experience and judgment. The pilot also directs the crew, operating the tugboats. These attach to each side of the ship as she comes into the port. Once the freighter is close enough, residual momentum carries her forward. She's also maneuvered by the slow pull of the tugboats. Getting the vessel into position is super tricky. It's like parallel parking at high speed. A harbor pilot's job is complete once the ship is in her berth. Being a harbor pilot is a lifelong job. The pilot only knows his particular port. He knows all the port channels, currents, and obstacles. He also has to know how to operate many different types of ships. Moreover, ship captains come from all over the world. Not all of them speak English. The pilot has to communicate with them effectively. Even a minor accident can jeopardize the pilot's career. He may lose his license. The piloting of a small outbound vessel can take as little as 30 minutes. For a larger ship, the process can last more than 2 hours. Imagine doing it in heavy rain or during a winter storm. Yet this is what harbor pilots do every single day and night. The rest of us depend on their skills, even if we don't realize it.